On September 12, 2017, Apple announced the future of the new iPhone with a keynote speech focused on the release of two new iPhones, the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10. The 10, a celebration of the 10th anniversary of the first iPhone, was set to be equally as revolutionary and established a new standard for cell phone technology. However, before the phone even hit shelves on November 3rd, many were quick to highlight the security concerns of the new facial recognition function. In addition to personal security concerns, there has also been concern about how data collected by these new sensors will be used and shared as facial systems interact with outside applications. Today, we will examine how this technology functions as we explore our research question: what are the benefits and shortcomings of the facial recognition feature of the new iPhone X?
Facial recognition is a breakthrough technology that has the potential to greatly increase the security of our phones. We will discuss how this technology works and how it acts under certain circumstances. The iPhone 10 uses a front-facing true-depth camera that sends over 30,000 visible dots to make a 3D map of the user's face. In doing so, it creates a unique facial map that only unlocks to one person. Using the true-depth camera, it ensures that the phone cannot be unlocked using digital or printed out pictures. It also uses infrared sensors, which allows the phone to recognize facial structures and unlock when it is nighttime or when it is dark. The camera also learns your face and tailors to accessories as time passes using Face ID. So accessories such as sunglasses, hats, and scarves do not hinder the Face ID sensors. They instead embrace them. Users have gone as far as using prosthetics to try and trick the sensors, but failed because the sensors learn the user's facial changes over time. The same goes for users that either have a beard and shave it, or do not have a beard and grow one. If you have a beard and shave it, it may take the sensor a few tries, but you will still be able to unlock your phone.
Facial ID has now taken the place of the former unlocking method, which was Touch ID. Touch ID utilized your fingerprints by placing them on the home button to unlock your phone. With the removal of the Touch ID, Apple was able to increase the size of the iPhone 10 screen, make it even more water resistant, and make it more secure with Facial ID. There is a 1 in a million chance of someone being able to unlock your phone with the facial scan compared to 1 in 50,000 with the fingerprint scanner. Although Face ID is the most secure method of unlocking an iPhone in Apple history, it still has its flaws. The Face ID will occasionally fail to unlock if the sun's light reflects onto the screen. The only way that it will unlock your phone while the sun is shining on it is if the attention awareness feature is off, which will greatly decrease the security of your phone. The attention awareness feature ensures that your phone will only be unlocked when you physically look at the phone with your eyes, not just if the phone's sensors can see your face. Another flaw is that some sets of twins are able to unlock the same device depending on how alike they look. The same goes for children under the age of 13. Considering that their facial features are not fully developed and many adolescent children look similar. The only solution that Apple has officially released is to use the numerical passcode to access the device, which makes the Face ID feature basically useless. Although the Facial ID has a few flaws, it is still a great leap forward in the security of our iPhones and will surely be improved in the coming years.
The iPhone X uses its front-facing camera and infrared sensors to scan the user's face. Thankfully, the phone camera is not constantly live or recording. The Face ID function turns on only when A. The phone is locked and the phone's rise to wake function is triggered, B. The phone is locked and the sleep or wake button is tapped, or 3. An app or Apple service that was previously set up with Face ID requests authentication. Once one of these functions has been triggered, to avoid unintentional unlocking of the device, Face ID is attention aware. This means that if your eyes are not focused on the phone will not unlock. This also means that a phone cannot be unlocked with the user's face while they are sleeping. There has been concern among users about the collection of such detailed facial information and how Apple might be using it. However, data collected from Face ID is stored only on an individual user's phone and is never shared with Apple or even backed up to the iCloud. Within the phone itself, data collected from Face ID is stored in what Apple calls a secure enclave, where Touch ID has been stored in past iPhones. Separate from the rest of the phone's mechanisms, the secure enclave is the part of the phone that is most difficult to access, and all the information stored there is encrypted. However, there is still room for concern. In August of 2017, an anonymous hacker came forward on Twitter with a possible hack of the Secure Enclave Processor, or SEP, which uses a key to decrypt executable binary files from a firmware image, or replicate that data. Right now, this strategy has only been effective on the iPhone 5S and previous models. However, this development highlights the fallibility of Apple's security and undermines the security of newer models to come.
Other apps will interact with Face ID similarly to how they did previously with Touch ID. All scans of your face are saved in the secure enclave and never leave your phone. Applications can request some information that is gathered by the TrueDepth camera on the front of your phone, but that is used primarily for things like more accurate Snapchat filters, and Apple doesn't hand over information in the same detail that it does for Face ID. Using other methods, developers could gather all that information from any phone's normal camera if they really wanted to, their own apps, as they have with the fingerprint. That means, for instance, that a bank can use it to make sure that you can only open your internet banking app if it's you. Apple doesn't let them actually see the biometric information used to do that. Instead, the developer just asks Apple whether or not the right person is holding the phone. The phone asks the secure enclave to scan your face and check, and it sends back a yes or no. All the app and the developer gets to see is the answer to that yes or no question, not how it was calculated or what the actual image of your face is that was used. To use your facial data, developers must first ask your permission in their apps and must not sell that information to other parties. Even though it's forbidden under Apple's developer guidelines, privacy experts worry that developers might still sell this data or use it for marketing and advertising purposes.
Core ML adds a lot of functionality to the iPhone X. Perhaps most importantly, it helps power Face ID. There's a dedicated part of the iPhone X's processor called the Neural Engine. This partition is for exclusive use by the Core ML program. Luckily for Face ID, this means that the majority of the time Face ID is not competing with other functions for processing speeds. This also means that Face ID is as fast as it needs to be properly usable. The 3D facial information that Face ID compares users' faces to is stored locally on the phone. This data is also used for some AR and VR applications which similarly use the Neural Engine pipeline. Apple's brand identity of being sleek and efficient persists through these features. By providing a processor with a chip dedicated exclusively to this task, machine learning processes that require more dedicated resources appear to run as smoothly as anything else on the device.
Apple's Face ID recognition represents not only a major enhancement of personal biometric security, but also a significant shift in the standards of modern cell phone technology. The iPhone X has pushed the boundaries of what personal devices can accomplish and simultaneously highlighted important privacy and security concerns faced by many advancing technologies. Face ID on the iPhone X is secure in many aspects. With a 1 in a million chance of someone else being able to unlock your phone, Face ID provides an elevated level of personal security, while data collected is responsibly stored and never shared with Apple or other third parties. Overall, this team is confident that in the security measures and precautions taken by Apple to protect users and critical facial data.